everyone! Today I'm going to show you a very simple and delicious recipe for homemade thumbprint cookies. It's great if you're following a plant paradox lifestyle because it has no sugar and it has no gluten. First, you're going to get a large mixing bowl and a hand mixer. And you're going to add 1 pastured egg yolk, half a cup of homemade French or A2 butter, 1/8 cup of monkfruit sweetener. I'm using the golden monkfruit, but I've also made it with just the regular granular monkfruit and even the powdered monkfruit, and it works just as well. And half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And now we're going to mix that together for about a minute until it's well combined. Next, we're going to stir in 1 cup of your Lektinfrei flour. So I like to use a mix of my own flours. I'm doing half a cup of blanched almond flour, 1/4 cup of arrowroot flour, 1/8 cup of tapioca flour, and 1/8 cup of coconut flour. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of xanthan gum, which helps the cookies really hold together instead of falling apart, because this is a shortbread recipe, so it doesn't crumble when you put the xanthan gum in it. And then we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to stir that all together until it becomes a dough. So the cookie dough has come together nicely to form a nice dough, and so I'm going to just flatten it into a disc like this. So I like to wrap it in some beeswax paper and refrigerate it, or if you have some plastic wrap, that works too. So the cookie dough has been in the fridge for 30 minutes and I've taken it out, and so now what I'm going to do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Okay, and then we're just going to get an ungreased cookie sheet like this, and we'll start rolling the cookie dough into little balls. My kids really love to help out with this piece, and so it's pretty good for fine motor skills, so they always help roll these into balls. Just space them apart. They're not going to really spread. So once you've rolled the dough into little balls, you're going to just make an indentation with your finger inside of it. And they call these thumbprints because you usually use your thumb, and so that's what my kids love doing. But I find that it makes a better shape if you just kind of use your middle finger to press down on the inside of it, and then it cracks, so you're going to fix the shape of it. Okay, so when my kids make these, I just let them do this with their thumb, and then I go back in after and I kind of smooth out all of the cracks without them kind of noticing that I'm doing that. And so now we're going to add the filling, which is a homemade jam. So we just add a little bit, about 1/4 teaspoon for every single cookie. This is from strawberries, but usually I like to use raspberries, but we just didn't get enough raspberries this year in our garden. I used some fresh local strawberries that we had picked in the summer from our local farm, and we just cooked it down, and then we added some monkfruit sweetener to it. If you want to preserve it, you could add some lemon juice. Okay, and again, my kids love to help out with this piece. I'm gonna put this in the oven, and we're just gonna keep an eye out on it. The bake time really depends on just how much of the dough you used, how big or small you need the cookies. Those are looking really good, so we're gonna take them out. We can look and see it's kind of soft and hot, so I'm just gonna get a spatula to show you the color of the cookie, okay? And so it is nice and just starting to brown around the edges, and so we can actually just transfer them to the cooling rack to continue to cool and set. All right, and there you have it, the most delicious thumbprint cookies that are lectin-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, and they're just so yummy and festive. Enjoy.